Hello everyone. Welcome to the inspirational channel for seniors, where we cherish every moment of life together. Today we will listen and reflect on a meaningful saying, "Time passes, but your value only increases." Come join me on this emotional journey. Part 1. Time, the silent companion. Perhaps each of us has had a moment when we sat quietly, watching the rays of afternoon sunlight through the window, listening to the clock ticking, and suddenly realized time has passed so much. The hair that was once black now has silver streaks. The steps that used to be quick now are slower. But there is something strange. Amidst all those changes, we still see ourselves as ourselves, just deeper, calmer, and more precious than ever. Time does not take away our value. It only depicts more clearly the marks of the journey that has been passed. Like a gemstone, the more polished, the brighter it becomes. Like a person, the more years go by, the more it radiates the light of experience, love, and understanding. Time is not an enemy. It is a companion, helping us grow up, helping us realize what is truly precious in life. Part 2. When age does not dim the value, but makes it shine brighter. Some people are afraid of growing old, afraid of wrinkles, afraid of old memories fading away. But if we look deeply, we will see each wrinkle is a story. Each gray hair is a memory. Age does not make us less. It makes us richer, fuller in soul. Let's think about what we have today. A heart that is loved with all its heart. A mind that has been resilient in overcoming many challenges. A gaze that has seen many beautiful things in this life. Those things cannot be measured by age, but can only be felt by the value of experience. Time does not erase value, makes that value more ripe. Like the sweet fruit at the end of the season. Although it is no longer as fresh as the beginning, it is more fragrant, sweet, and profound. Age, in fact, is a gift, because it proves that we have lived, loved, contributed, and are still continuing that journey with pride. Part 3. Value. Not in age, but in the soul. In a world that is always changing, people often forget that true value is not in what we own, but in who we become. Youth has strength, has aspirations, but old age has something that no one else has: wisdom and tolerance. You have gone through enough rainy and sunny seasons to know that life is not always fair, but it is always worth living. You understand that happiness does not lie in the big things, but in the eyes of your children and grandchildren looking at you, in the family meal, in the peaceful moments every morning. That is the value of a life lived to the fullest. No one can measure it. Nothing can fade it, because no matter how fast time passes, a beautiful soul always keeps its own light, the light that makes others admire, makes the next generation want to learn and follow. Part 4. When you look back, you will see how many good things you have created. Sometimes we are too concerned with what we have lost and forget what we have left behind. Over the years, you have sown so much love, so much advice, so many smiles for your children and grandchildren, for those around you. Those seeds, though small, are of great value that time cannot erase. You may not have the strength to work like before, but you have the strength of wisdom. You may not be able to run as fast as you used to, but you have a calm and profound heart, and that is what makes your value increase day by day. Like old wine, the longer it is kept, the more flavorful it becomes. The younger generation may not understand right away, but in time they will realize. Those who have gone before are the most precious examples, the living treasure of patience, love, and tolerance. Part 5. Time is your friend, not your old friend. Perhaps the most beautiful thing about old age is when we know how to smile at ourselves, at what is past, and what is still to come. Time, if we know how to look at it, is not an end, but a reminder that your value is growing over the years. Look back at your face. It is not just your present face, but a map of a journey. Each wrinkle is the mark of a smile. Each crow's foot is evidence of how many times we have lived fully and loved with all our heart. Today, you are no longer the person you were years ago, but a deeper, warmer, more precious version. Time passes, but your value, yourself, only becomes brighter, like a gem illuminated by the sun. And remember, it is never too late to shine. Because every day you live with love for life, gratitude, and tolerance is a day you are making your value shine bright. I will analyze more deeply the saying, time passes, but your value only increases. Part 1. Time does not take away. It only gives, ladies and gentlemen. Time is the only thing in this life that no one can hold, but no one can avoid. It passes by every day, every hour, every second, leaving its mark on the face, in the footsteps, in every memory. But you know, time is not a robber. It is a great teacher. It does not take away your value. It only gives you more. Understanding, patience, love, and a deeper soul than ever. When we are young, we are often in a hurry to live, in a hurry to love, in a hurry to succeed. But when we have gone through many years, we understand that the precious thing is not in speed, but in depth. Time does not weaken you. It teaches you to be stronger. Time does not make you old. It makes you mature enough to understand, to know what is enough. What is true happiness? You have gone through many stages, difficult days, smiles, stumbles, and it is those things that have created your true value today. That value is not given by anyone, nor can it be taken away by anyone, because it is built by your own life. Time does not make you lose anything. It only makes you shine with the light of experience. Part 2. Each passing year is a layer of gold on the value of life. Try to imagine life as a precious metal plate. When you are young, it is shiny but easily scratched. Over time, even though the outer layer fades, the inside is covered with layers of gold, of experience, of love, of kindness. Just like that, you're the one who has gone through many years, have not lost value. On the contrary, with each passing year, you become more precious. You know how to listen to others. You know how to be silent when necessary, and know how to speak when your words can warm someone. You understand what youth does not understand, that joy does not lie in material things, but in peace and love. Age is not the end. It is proof that you have lived, loved, contributed, and are still continuing to create new values every day. People often admire the light of youth, but forget that. That light will never last as long as the light of experience, because the light of youth shines quickly, but the light of experienced people is warm and long-lasting. Time does not make you dim. It polishes you into the brightest gem of your own life. Part 3. Age is not a burden, but an honor. There is a very beautiful thing. To live to this age is a privilege. Not everyone has the opportunity to go through many sunny and rainy seasons, to witness their children grow up, to look back and smile at themselves. Every wrinkle on your face is a memory. Every gray hair is a story. Every crow's foot is a mark of happiness, of the times you laughed with all your heart. Age does not make you weaker. It makes you know better what is worth living. You no longer chase after frivolous things. You choose simple, sincere, and meaningful things. Never think that old age is the time to stop. On the contrary, it is the time when you can live more fully than ever, because you understand enough not to regret, experience enough to cherish every moment. Age is not a minus of life, but a plus of wisdom, of kindness, of gratitude. Growing old is not a loss, but the moment you become most complete with yourself. Part 4. When you live beautifully, time will bow before you. Time can fade your clothes, slow down your feet, but it can never fade the beauty of your soul. If you live with kindness, with tolerance, then each year that passes will only make you more radiant. Some people are afraid of time, but those who know how to live will make time respect them. Because there are people who, as they grow older, shine more brightly. Not because they become younger, but because they live more valuable every day. People may forget what you have done, but they will never forget the feelings you left in their hearts. The way you care, the way you forgive, the way you face life, that is what makes true value. And when you live with love, time is no longer a flowing stream, but a river that reflects the light of a beautiful soul. Time can only fade the color of a flower, but cannot extinguish the fragrance of a beautiful person. Part 5. Wisdom. an asset that never depreciates. There are things that get older the more they are used, but there is one thing that becomes more valuable the more they are used. Wisdom, and your wisdom cultivated throughout. Your life is an asset that never depreciates. You have experienced enough joys and sorrows to know that the most precious thing is not money, but understanding and kindness. You understand the value of waiting, of sympathy, of knowing when to stop. That is wisdom, and it cannot be obtained overnight. This world always needs people like you, people who have insight, know how to share, know how to listen. You are not just a was. You are a person who lives with wisdom tempered over the years. Age may turn your hair gray, but your wisdom and heart will always shine like the dawn. Part 6. When you give, your value doubles. Value lies not only in what we keep, but in what we give. Every word of advice you say, every action you take, every time you encourage someone, sows a good seed in life. Elderly people have a special power. They can calm others with just a word, a smile, a handshake, because your words are not theories, but truths that have been lived, experienced, and proven by time. When you share, you lose nothing. You are making this life brighter. And at that moment, your value is doubled. The one who knows how to give is the one who time can never erase his value. Part 7. Time may pass, but faith remains. Life is not always smooth. There are tiring days, there are lonely times, but it is faith that keeps you going. Believe that every waking day is a gift. Believe that every minute of life is an opportunity to do good. And believe that, even as time passes, your value is still growing. When you live with faith, you have won over time, because time can change everything, except one thing: people's belief in their own meaning. Time only wins over those who give up, but you who still believe in your own value will be forever immortal. Part 8. The crystallization of time. You are the light of the next generation in the end. When you look back on your life journey, you will see time does not take anything away. It only helps you to be perfect, like a statue that is gradually carved over the years. Now, you do not live only for yourself. You are a mirror, a light for the next generation. The way you live, the way you overcome difficulties, the way you maintain kindness in life, that is the priceless gift you leave behind. Not everyone can be called a respected elder. That title does not come from age, but from heart and personality. And you, with all that you have experienced, deserve it. Hold your head high. Smile and say to yourself, I am not afraid of time, because with each passing day I only become more valuable. Time passes, but your value is still shining like the dawn in this life. Here are some tips for you. Part 1. Don't let time define you. You define time. Time doesn't make you lose your value. It only tests whether you dare to stand firm and shine in your journey. Many people, when they get old, often think, I'm past my time. But the truth is, no one can take your time away from you if you still believe that you have value, dreams, and joy. Remember, age only measures the years of life, not the vitality in your heart. Every morning when you wake up, instead of thinking, I'm old, say, today I still have a chance to live better than yesterday. Be proactive in creating your own rhythm of life. Whether you are 60, 70, or 80, spend at least 15 minutes a day doing something you love. Reading, tending plants, going for a walk, practicing deep breathing, or simply making yourself a cup of tea and smiling. Time passes, but it is your attitude that determines whether your value grows or shrinks. But 2. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is an act of self-respect. When we are young, we take care of others, our children, our work, our family. But as we age, it is time to learn to take care of ourselves. Not because you are weak, but because you deserve to be loved the way you once gave. Eat well, get enough sleep, exercise lightly every day. Don't try to do big things, just be consistent. A slow but steady step is more valuable than a quick step that falls. Get regular health checkups, Listen to your body and don't be afraid to seek new joys. When you are healthy, your mind is also brighter, and your value will continue to shine in your family and community. You cannot inspire anyone if you are exhausted. So, consider health as the most sacred gift that time is giving you, as long as you know how to cherish and nurture it every day. Part 3. Keep the spirit of learning. The key to your value never being old. The world is always changing. But curiosity, the desire to learn, that is the fire that keeps you young. Learn how to use a smartphone. Join a peer group, try writing a diary. Listen to podcasts, or watch inspirational videos. There is no limit to learning. Accept your own refusal. Older people do not fall behind because of age. They only fall behind when they stop exploring. When you still want to know more, understand more, live better, you are proving that you are still growing, not aging. Ask yourself every day, what new thing did I learn today? It could be a story, a skill, or a lesson in patience, because everything you learn increases your value, not to others, but to yourself. Part 4. Give to see your value doubled. There is a secret of happiness that young people rarely understand, but older people feel most clearly. Your value is not in what you keep, but in what you give. Share your experiences, stories, skills. A sincere advice, a handshake, an encouraging look. Sometimes it can warm the hearts of a generation. Don't be afraid that you have nothing left to give. You have a treasure trove of memories, experiences, and love, things that no amount of money can buy. Be a mentor, a listener, an inspirer. Every time you share something, you are adding value to this world, making it grow and flourish. And in the process, you realize your value is not lost, but doubled by each other. Part 5. Live each day to the fullest. Let time be your companion, not a robber. Finally, don't be afraid of time. Time doesn't take away your youth. It just gives you a different version of strength. You were strong with strength. No, you are strong with understanding, patience, and kindness. Live each moment to the fullest. Don't waste today regretting yesterday or worrying about tomorrow. Every day you wake up, see the light, hear laughter, feel the wind, is a day that your value increases by one level. Time passes, but your value only increases. It is not just a saying. It is an affirmation of a great spirit of life, a spirit of those who do not succumb to time, but turn time into proof of their own brilliance. The end of today's story, part 1. Time doesn't take away. Time only brightens true values. Perhaps each of us has looked in the mirror and wondered, where did the time go? Wrinkles, gray hair, trembling hands sometimes make us think we are gradually losing. But the truth is, time doesn't take anything away. It only filters to keep what is most real, most precious, most durable. Those wrinkles are not signs of aging, but the marks of times you laughed, cried, loved, and persevered. That gray hair is not a sign of aging, but the glory of experience, proof that you have lived, contributed, and written a journey that no one can copy. Time doesn't weaken you. It proves how strong you are to stand firm, to believe, to smile. Part 2. Each age is a chapter, and this chapter is still being written. Look back at your life as a thick book. The years of youth are the first pages, full of passion and desire. But don't forget, the last chapters are where the story reaches its true depth. At this age, you don't need to compete with anyone anymore. You just need to live so that each day is a beautiful line in the last chapter of your life. A chapter of peace, of gratitude, of inner light. Don't let anyone tell you it's too late. Nothing is too late when you are still living, still loving, still listening to the birds singing outside your window this morning. Tell yourself, I am still writing my life, and I will write it beautifully, boldly, meaningfully. Part 3. You are not a follower, you are a leader. Don't forget, you are a pioneer, not a person left behind. You have walked through things that the next generation only hears about. You have experienced hardship, loss, and challenges, and that is what makes the wisdom and depth in your eyes today. Young people have the power of speed, while the elderly have the power of understanding. That power is not noisy, not ostentatious, but it is what keeps the whole world from forgetting its roots. Every piece of advice you give, every story you tell, every smile you give, is a priceless spiritual heritage. So never think that you have lost your value. On the contrary, you are the value. It is a measure for the next generation to know what is determination, what is kindness, what is living fully. Part 4. True strength lies in a grateful heart. At some point, you will realize the most precious thing is not how many years you have lived, but how many of those years you have been grateful for. Be grateful every morning you wake up. Thank you for every delicious meal, every time you meet your loved ones, every peaceful moment when the wind blows through the trees. Because when you are grateful, your heart becomes young again. And when your heart is young again, time no longer has power. Thank the past for teaching you to stand up. Thank the present for giving you the opportunity to live fully. Thank the future for still waiting for you to continue writing with the best things you can do. Live with that gratitude, and you will see that your value is growing every day without having to prove it, without having to compete. Part 5. Time passes, but the light within you does not fade. Finally, remember, time can dim everything, but it cannot dim the light of a loving soul. Let that light spread. Let every word, every smile, every kind action of yours be a fire that lights up the hearts of those around you. You don't have to be loud to make an impact. Just live sincerely. Live well, live meaningfully. Because true value lies not in what we have, but in what we leave in the hearts of others. Time will pass, as it always does. But when you are gone, what people remember is not your age, but the light you once brought to them. And that's when this saying becomes more true than ever. Time passes, but your value only increases. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you find it interesting and meaningful, please give me a like, subscribe, and share.